Welcome to Metal Gear Explained. Today we're going to be looking at what's next for the Metal Gear series, but this is going to be a special edition where I make a case for each of the games that I believe should be remade. As you guys know, I like more original games, but after Kojima left, we haven't had an official release yet. So we're exploring some of the remakes. The last video I made broke down the future of Metal Gear. You should definitely check that out. But in this one, we're diving down a rabbit hole into specific games and then giving you guys examples of why I believe it should happen. And this is going to be a series that we'll do. So stick tight and stay with me on this. It should be a great one. Before we go any further, I do have a giveaway for this game. We're going to be giving multiple copies. So you want to make sure you're subscribed and that you leave a comment because we will draw a winner from the comments every single time. There's going to be one definitely before the release of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, but might have more each month as long as the channel continues to grow. Okay. With that out of the way, let's get into it. We're going to get deep into it. Here we come. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I seeing? Well, guess what? This is the original Metal Gear Solid game. Well, Metal Gear game actually. And I love this game, don't get me wrong, but everything I'm about to say might make it sound like I don't like it as much. And that's okay, but just know that that's not the case. Metal Gear is my favorite series. The 9 games that I basically cover on this channel are pretty much the basis of my existence. There's the Bible, and then there's Metal Gear as far as the biggest influences that inspired me, motivated me, and lifts me up. With that being said, I don't want to play this game no more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest. Seeing the remake for Snake Eater made me say, can I get what I want? I deserve, and I'm not usually like a person that rages or anything, by the way, but can I get what I want? Okay. Not to say that this was a bad game for its time, but it's literally a 80s game. Okay. 1987 to be exact. And while it was revolutionary and amazing at the time, we're living in 2024, and by the time Snake Eater comes out and they do a master collection edition volume 2, it's going to be 2025 or 2026. I think Konami should take control of the series and start with what I'm about to show you right here. Just imagine playing this game as Solid Snake, and I'm not going to spoil the story, of course, guys. I am going to show a couple of bosses. You are watching a run of the game, but please note there's not really much story here because there's no cutscenes. There's only text, no voiceovers. The cinematics are all pixelated. Very cool boss fights and amazing stuff for its time. Man, I'm not that old, okay? And even if I was that old, I'd want to play modern games. I want some 4K graphics. I want what I want. And I hope you guys are agreeing with me and feeling how I feel right now. This is what I want right here. Okay. With Solid Snake instead of Naked Snake. They pretty much look the same almost. So take Solid Snake. Give me these graphics. Give me these mechanics. Everything you made here is the foundation for the new remake for Metal Gear. Okay. It is literally going to be 40 years old sooner or later. All right. And that's not a bad thing, but that's pretty old. Okay. And coming from an old guy like me, you know, we want to stay fresh. We want to stay new. We want to stay relevant. The only way to do that is to take this engine and all the foundation that you built with this game and make not only part 1, but I'm going to add part 2 into this because I do think that they're both the same. Okay. They're both the same mechanics, graphics, and all of that good stuff. So give me those 2 games in here ASAP. All right. I'm not asking you, Konami. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Now we're going to go into a little bit of part 2 as well and give you guys a rundown so you can know what this one's offering as well. Very cool stuff, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with these games. Again, I just need new. I just want special. As you can see, all the graphics, cinematics, everything that you get out of these games are pretty cool for their time. But we can get a brand new experience for all the players with the top tier graphics, everything that it has. And what I want to talk about here is how this game has no voice acting. Imagine how cool it would be, all the boss fights that we have in this game. Imagine the interaction with Solid Snake, a younger version, inexperienced, who can kind of take his attitude that he had and, you know, change it up and add extra dialogue and make it interesting. There's storylines in these games that I think can be great, in my opinion. And I wanted to kind of focus on part one the most because this one's the most special. This is what I was introduced to when I was a kid. I couldn't beat this game. And it was like a Dark Souls game for me. But I loved it and I kept trying, and it just felt like an endless world for me. And I was literally like a little boy before I was even 10. So, with that in mind, this is going to be special if that's what they make next. Okay, I think it's going to work, especially when you already have the models from Delta Snake Eater. And then now you're going to use that big boss and put him in this game and introduce the players to Solid Snake, the one who we played the most of in the franchise. And that would be special. So just think about it. Little things like this, fighting a tank, setting up C4s, doing different things that can be dynamic a lot better if we set it up proper and we create new ways to play. And they have a lot more freedom with this game since its structure was in the 2D world and now we're on the 3D platform. So that's my thoughts when it comes to what I think should happen next as far as remakes go. We do have videos talking about future games when it comes to original stuff. I actually wrote my own Metal Gear game as well, but we're not here to discuss all that. We just want to kind of inspire you guys to get on this bandwagon and let Konami know that, yes, we want more. And hopefully the success of Delta Snake Eater, if you're watching this later when the game releases, hopefully that game blows up big enough for Konami to say, yes, we're going to go ahead and fund more remakes. Let's work on part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, all of them. Remake them in 4K, 120 frames per second for the whole world. That's what I want. Okay. And then, to be honest, and to end this video about this topic, honestly, I don't want no remakes. I would prefer new games. But if I'm going to get a remakes, start off with this one. And we will start a series where you can actually hear more about other games that I think could happen. This one was more of a rant because this is the one game that I feel very passionate and it's very common sense to pick this game to remake compared to the rest. So give me the best graphics, give me the best animations, give me the best experience. Just like this game right here where it just looks spectacular. Give me that. That's my opinion and I'm sticking to it. But what are your thoughts? Which game would you want remade? Which original storyline that you want as well? We have a series we're going to be doing about that. Plenty of discussions to get into. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the first remake I want to make, that I feel is best to make, and then share that with you guys. Remember, we do have a giveaway. Go to the comments, subscribe, and make sure you comment so you can have a chance to win the MetalGearSolid Delta Snake Eater. And I am going to be covering this extensively right now. There should be popping up more videos breaking down different ideas, whether it's what the future is, that should be popping up on your screen, or what remake I would want next if they're going to keep on making more Metal Gear games. Check that out. Let's talk soon.